This is Tom Marshall in Guadalajara talking a little bit about Mexico's under-20 squad for the World Cup in Republic of Korea. I think the first thing to point out when you look at the players is that only one is based outside of Mexico. That's Paco Venegas, who's over there in Everton in Chile on loan from Pachuca. Then the other is that not many of these names are getting regular minutes in the Liga MX. I think really only Edson Alvarez can be considered, a starter, a regular starter for his club team, Club America. And I think that's slightly worrying from the Mexican point of view. I think that the FMF, the federation, would like to see more of these players now moving up into the first teams. But obviously with the 10-8 rule in Mexico, where 10 non-homegrown players are allowed in each Mexico squad in the Liga MX, I think we're seeing that the young players suffer a little bit from that. I think this is a team as well with something to prove. I mean, in the CONCACAF Championship, Mexico didn't win and also lost against the United States. I mean, no Mexican team likes to lose against the great rivals, the USA. I think the other thing that needs to be pointed out here is that there are three players specifically that are big kind of misses for Mexico, and that's Cesar Montes, who's in Monterrey. He's not with the squad. Eric Aguirre, the Pachuca player, and Jorge Sanchez, who's been exceptional at right back for Santos Laguna this season. All three could possibly be in the Gold Cup squad, so that's one thing to just take note of, that there are three other players that would usually, in normal circumstances, be part of this squad, along with the likes of Edson Torres at Chivas and Gerardo Arteaga, the left back at Santos Laguna. But anyway, whatever squad this is, I think the way the Mexican youth team setup is right now, there's minimum expectation. I think this World Cup, it has to get through the group. I mean, you look at Germany, obviously strong at any level of world football. It's going to be difficult. Venezuela, South American team, done good things recently at youth level, and Vanuatu, which you expect obviously Mexico to beat easily. But I think with those three teams, you think Mexico should be advancing. There'll be question marks if Mexico don't advance from this group, put it this way. Manager Marco Antonio Ruiz, 47 years old. They call him El Chima, his nickname. Played a long time for Tigres and Chivas, played for the Mexican national team as well. Usually puts in a 4-4-2 formation. I personally prefer Mexican youth teams to play 4-3-3. The Mexican players are usually very technical. I think the extra midfielder, I think it helps them control the game a little better. And also with the wingers high up, I think Mexico have produced very good wingers, and it's almost better to have them with a bit less defensive responsibility. But I'm sure Ruiz and the coaching staff know what they're doing, and obviously every kind of squad and youth level is very different from the last one. Just going to go through a few of the main names in the Mexico squad. First one mentioned before, Edson Alvarez, Club America, centre back, very very comfortable on the ball, comfortable playing out, reads the game very well. The way he's just stepped into that Club America team, I mean, there's a lot of pressure for anybody at Club America to play in the Estadio Azteca, and I think he's just taking it kind of all in his stride. He seems like a very calm player, and he's the only one of this Mexico under-20s group to have already experienced full national team level. So I think he's got a big future. Obviously, whenever a young defender comes up from the youth system these days, the automatic talk is of, is it the next Rafa Marquez? I think it's unfair. Alvarez is a good player. There are similarities with the way the ease that he has with the ball, but obviously Rafa Marquez was an exception. The other thing about Alvarez as well is, this season he's been pretty versatile. He's played at right wing back for Club America. He's even played the holding role as well in midfield. But I think his natural position is kind of a centre back, a ball playing centre back. And yeah, he's definitely a player to watch. Ronaldo Cisneros played very well in the CONCACAF Championship. He's done well basically in his youth career at club level and international level. He's scored a ridiculous amount of goals. He's obviously the goal threat. Is good at finishing, good in the air, decent with his back to goal as well, and involving his teammates in plays. But I think the only question mark about Ronaldo really is he's not stepped it up at club level. I mean, Santos Laguna are a club that do give youngsters a chance, and I don't know. I think that's the next challenge really in his career. Another Santos Laguna player, Uriel Antuna, another one of the stars of the the CONCACAF Championship, right winger, fast, tricky. He'll be the main kind of supplier for Ronaldo Cisneros and Lalo Aguirre, the two strikers for Mexico. And yeah, he had a brilliant CONCACAF Championship, and he moved straight into the Santos Laguna squad after that. And yeah, I think a lot of the players in this Mexico squad, that'll be the aim. They'll be aimed to have really good tournament and not just do well for the country. Obviously, that's the main priority. But I think the secondary one is to come back to Mexico, make an impact, and kind of be more included so they can get more minutes with the first team. Definitely under that category comes Ulises Torres, Club America left back. We've been hearing about him for a couple of years now. I'm not sure what's happened. He's not made that step up as well. I think that this is a big tournament for Torres. I think that he needs to kind of come out of his shell, needs to prove himself, that he can be the left back that people have talked about over the last few years. And the final player is Pablo Lopez. I mean, I think he's similar to Torres in that, in the under-17s World Cup a couple of years ago, Lopez was Mexico's biggest name player. I mean, he did really well. I don't think he's quite stepped up to developed as people thought he would, but I mean, this is a big opportunity. Let's see if Torres and Lopez get the start. But I think in general, this is it's another decent Mexico squad. They've played together a lot, and we'll see how they do. I'm sure they'll get out of the group, and then from there, I'm sure the Mexican nation will get behind them, and it'll be interesting to see how far they got. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Any comments, leave them below the video. I'll try and get back to you. But yeah, thanks a lot and speak soon.